I'm back. Hope you guys didn't miss me too much. This time we're going to put the pages in and decorate just a smidgen so I can seal up this pocket here and maybe the outside cover too. I think the outside cover too. Alright, so last time we made these pages and this hinge. And this hinge goes here. If you lay it flat, you have your flap, your pocket, and then the 1 inch or 1.5 inch, not quite 1.5 inch spot in the middle here. That's your spine. So there's your pocket, your spine, pocket, flap. Alright, now we put tape all over the back of this, so all we need to do is remove the backing and lay this puppy down. So I'm going to remove the backing from the middle areas first, and then the edges after, so that I can line it up and then stick it down. Makes it a little bit easier. I guess I should be in the camera while I'm doing that, huh? Now you're going to have a smidgen of extra space on either side of this, so take that into account, and you should have a little bit, like 1/8 of an inch on the top and the bottom as well. So just try to center it as best you can, like that. And before you rub it down, you got to pull the backing off the rest of the adhesive. That, lay it down, and then this piece, and the same thing, lay it down. Now burnish it really good. And take your ruler. And you have your crease where your spine part is, but in the crease where the 1/4 inch is. You want to fold so that the spine is your fold here. It'll take a little bit of effort because you got 2 layers of paper here. Once you get it started, you can just push it down really, really hard with your fingers. Once you get it really good, where you want it, then you can rub it down with this foam folder. So it's a little tough. You have to work it. But once you get it, it's good. And it makes a good fold. And it gives you just about 1/2 inch of space, not quite 1/2 inch of space to work with on the outside of each page. So if you want to put a lot of embellishments and stuff on there, you absolutely can. Alright. Jeez. Oh, that's hard work. Alright, so there you go. Flip those this way. Get in all your papers. Double your cap. And then you have your 3 hinges, which you're going to add your pages to. So, let's do that. Alright, we're going to start in the front and work our way that way. Alright, this is the one that was ripped a little, so when I do the paper on this one, I'll probably do it very close to the edge, purposely, so that it catches that ripped spot and covers it. So we're going to start in the front. And see how much space there is between the tape and the edge of where the fold is? It's roughly, I'll say 1/8 of an inch. You don't want to go any further than that near the fold, because if you do, your pages will not move freely. They'll get kind of bound up. So you definitely want to be conscious of that when you're putting this page in. So line it up with the top and the bottom, being careful not to stick it down until you're ready. And stick it down. And give it a little bit of a rub. Being careful of the hole where I ripped it. And then flip it over and do the same thing on the other side. It's a little easier to do the other side once you've got the first one down anyway. Either way. So I usually try to do one at a time. There's people who do it both at once. I am not that skilled. So, line it up. Make sure none of the tape is showing, and you're good. There you go, your page is attached. Alright, so the next page will be the one with the longer tab. And again, remove this side. Line this one up. I'm going to turn it this way so it's a little easier for me. Or not. That. Flip it over. Remove the tape backing, which I just can't get off because I have no fingernails. Sorry if my head keeps getting in the way. Hard to see where I'm going here, otherwise. Alright. And the last one. That's the one with the full tab. Line it up. Press it down. Just go through and burnish them all. And we're good. So that makes the book look like that. And you can see, sort of, that the tabs reach right up to the top here, so that's why we made the extra space for it to bump up a little. That way we can fill her up with all kinds of stuff, pictures and embellishments and whatever. And tchotchkes and doodads. Hold on just a second. A little bit of a runny nose today. Alright, so the inside we need to do this part here, down here, and then adhere this pocket down, and then we need to mat this part and adhere this part down. So that's going to just take me a second to measure and cut the pages to fit. I'm going to do this plaid. I don't know if you can see that really good, it's kind of bright here. I'm going to do this plaid as the outside, and then I'm going to do this print as the inside, maybe. Yeah, I think I might. My other option is, I thought I pulled out polka dots, but I guess I pulled out little bitty holly leaves. I don't really like those so much, so We'll do the big ass holly leaves at 4. Yeah, we're gonna do this one. This is our inside. Because the words will get covered and there's no point in all that. Alright. So, and this page is 6.5. So, 6 1/4 by. I'm only going right up to the bend on either side, which will make it 3 3/4. I always write them in there where I'm not going to see them later anyway. Just because, you know, why not? And I do it in pencil so that it, like, pens sometimes will bleed through paper after, you know, years of humidity and whatever. So I don't usually, as a rule, write with a pen on things like that. Just because you don't want to mess it up. You want something that's going to last and maybe need some glue every now and again, but that's about the most of it. You don't want it to be all stained and weird. Alright, so the 3 3/4 is this way. Make sure that if you have words on it like this does, that they're in the right direction. The book is, I guess it depends on how you look at the book. We'll do it this way so that this is the way the book is held. If I did it the other way, I was just about to do it, you'd have to hold the book this way and flip through it, and this is the way the book is supposed to be held. So, 3 3/4. Sorry about that. And it is by 6 1/4. I'm going to do 6 3/8 so it's closer to the edges. And that gives us all these little words that'll be easily read for the most part. And that'll go here. And then the pocket will go there. So we can actually pull this up further if we want, because the inside edge doesn't matter. It's not really going to be noticeable. And then I think I will do this in a scrap from the outside, the plaid from the outside. And then we've got the back side here and here, which I'll do the same way again, the words and then the plaid. So that'll work. And the outside, oof, yuck. That's fine. We're going to do this for the spine. Sorry if that's blinding anybody. This stripe. Alright, so the spine first, so I can measure that and cut it. And that is, should be 1 1/2, but not quite. So 2 1/2, 3 1/2, 4 1/2. We'll do 4 1/2. No. We will do it 3 1/2. 1, 2, 3 1/2. I want the stripes to go up and down. 3 1/2. Hold on, I gotta cut the edge off because it's too long. I'll never understand why they put these edges on these things. Such a waste of paper. If they came individually, I could understand, but these come as a pack, always. Whatever. Gotta love some graphic 45 paper. It is beautiful. Alright, and the book itself is 6.5, so we will cut this at 6.5 because it's going to not wrap around. Usually I would wrap it around to the inside and then cover it over, but this time, because of the style of the book, it is not going to work. So, there's that. And I'm going to lightly score 1 inch from either side. Lightly. Like barely. That's just to help it with the fold, and so I can line it up easier. Alright, so now we gotta figure out what we need for the outside itself, which is this cover, but this goes all the way around to the flat. We have to remember that when we're doing it, because it's got to be as close to one piece as possible. So we'll do that one first, because we know it's 6.5 this way, so 6.25 would be the cut. And then pencil and a ruler. And it would be 7 7/8 by 6 1/4. And then the front side will be 3 7/8 by 6 1/4. Alright. So we'll do the 6 1/4 first. The 7 7/8. And if we're lucky, it's a good big enough. And it will. And we only lose that little smidge. Just a pinch. A little teeny hair of a paper. Alright, so that's our outside. And we need a 6 1/4 by 2. Well, let's get rid of this thing first. We'll cut 2 inches off, and then we'll 6 1/4 from there. I think next time I may make this as even 6 inches, that way the paper will be easier to cut. And then that goes there. Perfect! Alright, keep those, get rid of that, like this. And decide if we're going to do any kind of a finish on it, which I'm sure I'm going to use vintage photo because that's what I do. Gotta love vintage photo. I use the heck out of this paper, or this distress paper. Distress stain. Oy oy oy. I have moments, I tell you. Well, this doesn't want to work. 19 minutes so far. Okay. We only need to do 3 sides because the other side will not show. 2 short sides, 1 long side. The other side's going to be absent, invisible. And this one. Again, you only need to do 3 sides, the 3 sides that are going to show. That's the inside pocket. And then this piece, after you get it on and you get that fold working for you, you do over the fold as well, just for good measure. And then somewhere in here is the spine piece, which we have to do as well. And the same thing when you get the spine folded. You work the folds and then you hit them with the distress paint. That'll give them, you know, a nice look. Alright, I'm going to finish distressing these and then I'll come back. Alright, we're back. All distressed and all the good jazz. Alright, so first we're going to do the inside pocket because we need to put the tabs on, and those will be covered up on the outside of the book and then on the inside of the book when we put this piece on. Right here. Sorry, I'm out of frame. So I need to make 2 more tabs at... I don't know yet. Oops, sorry about that. 2 1/8 by 1 inch. And 2 1/8. Jeez, keep hitting the camera, sorry. Let me score them in half. A little doodad. I seem to have lost it. There it is. Oh no, I got distress ink all over the place. Alright, that. Fold them in half, notch the corners. Fold them in half, notch the corners. I hope to get some greeting cards in before too long. We're running out of time for Christmas here. Just have like a brain funk when it comes to, or brain fuzz when it comes to doing Christmas cards for some reason. I did like 8 of them over the weekend and forgot to record. Issues, I tell you. I'm on the tail end of the 3 weeks after my last chemo. I'm on the last week now, and it has been a rough time going. It's been the worst of all of them. I had hardly any problems most of the time through, and then this past 2 weeks my fingernails have started to come loose, and I felt like crud, I'm fatigued. I'm like, what is going on here? Did you guys give me extra for good measure? Jeez. The nurses did not find that funny. But I just feel worse than I have. I mean, my feet have swollen up all the way up to my thighs, like from my toes up to my thighs has swollen up, so I have cankles and everything. So I've been very uncomfortable and not in the mood to do a whole heck of a lot. And then, like I said, I got myself together and did some Christmas cards and totally forgot to record it doing it. And I did a bunch of them. But maybe next time. I do plan on doing some more with this paper after I'm done with this book, because I wanted to use what I needed first before I go stealing all my own paper for another project. Yeah, make sure this project's done completely before I tap into the Graphic 45 Christmas paper. Though it will make some very lovely Christmas cards, because it's freaking beautiful. All the paper is. Alright, so I just stuck one tab here, and then you hold this closed and you put the other tab around to the front side of the book. Like that. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's right there, from there to there. And that'll get covered up by the paper that goes on the outside. And then just do the same thing on this side, and that'll hold the pocket. So you have a pocket. It'll hold it shut. And as usual, make sure it's lined up more to the top of the pocket if it's shorter than the pocket is, because it matters more that the top is attached fully than the bottom, because the bottom is a 1/16 of an inch left at most on this one. So make sure you're flat and tuck it under. Hit it with your bone folder. And this piece you can just leave for later, that's fine. You don't need to do that now. I mean, you can, you have the thing ready if you want to, you could absolutely put it down. I personally am going to wait because I want to decide how I'm going to adhere this, if I'm going to use glue or if I'm going to do something else. Probably I'm going to use glue though. The tape didn't seem to want to stick really good the last time around. Alright, we're at 8 minutes. That's not bad. Alright, so the next question is, do I want this over or under? Over. Alright, so this is going to go on last, which means these will go on next. I'm going to use the big end tape for this because, you know, it's big, covers more area. Pure and simple. I'm going to just do the center with the HEG, because why not? The center doesn't need as much oomph as the edges do on these things. The edges tend to pull up otherwise if you don't give them enough adhesive, especially in smaller things with no hard cover, because they bend a lot. You want to make sure that you use really heavy-duty adhesive on these things to make it stay where you put it. Well, it decided to cut off, and I didn't realize it, and I did the whole back without you here. Sorry. So, at any rate, I put a whole ton of tape on here from here all the way past this fold, or this curve, to make sure it stays in place, and then I did the double stick tape all the way around the edge and HEG in the middle again. And then I just worked this fold to make it curve properly, like that. So that is nice and sturdy now, and it'll, you know, keep this together pretty good, hopefully. I probably, as a rule, would not do the inside, but I might just cover up all this lines in here because it looks kind of funky. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know yet. Debating on it. At any rate, that was just to hold the pages in place because this thing kept slipping out. Now and on to the inside. So this is going to go here. I'm not sure what I'm going to do on the outside of the flap just yet. I haven't thought about it. Probably something green colored, maybe the stripe from the binding. I still have to do the bind cover as well, but I'm going to slap this on here real quick so it'll stop sliding away. Shot here, and I'm lining it up closer to the outer edge than the inner edge, and centered on either side. That way when I put the flap down, you'll never know if it's off whack. Alright, so for the outside edge, I haven't decided how I'm going to close that just yet, but I think I'm going to have to do a ribbon now because I was going to do magnets, but I forgot to do them. And maybe I could pull that up. Alright, so for the spine, we've got this piece. This is obviously going to need some double stick adhesive to hold that puppy in place because it's definitely going to get a lot of wear and tear. I'm just going to go straight across the whole thing with the tape. That way it will not come loose no matter what. Don't want that. Give it just a little bit of a fold on those creases that we made. I'm not trying to like make it a full-blown crease here. Just enough so you know where they are. lay this as flat as we can, which isn't very. Line this up top to bottom, left to right. Got the creases to help you with that. Left to right thing. Make sure your spine's good. And then just go around the edge. Like that. Same thing on this side. Once it's on there straight, as best as it can be anyway, and you hit it with your bone folder. Always. Make sure that puppy is as stuck down as it is ever going to get. And make sure here where it goes over the edges that you work that really good too, because it needs to be stuck down or there's going to be all kinds of random lint and whatever all else getting stuck in there. It's just a little bit of it that goes over like that on the edges. So just give them a little extra attention is all. Not much to it. And try not to leave marks like I just did. Learn from my mistakes. Okay. Now, the books are the signatures, the paper pages that were in the other one go in between here, and you just pop a hole and sew them in. I'm going to do them a little bit differently this time, that way I'll have some ribbon hanging out of the back here. I just figured that would look nice if I did like some ribbon tufts sticking out in like a couple spots. Now this little pocket here, let's deal with this and get it done with because it's annoying me. Alright. All you need to do to adhere this down is a strip on either end, just a small one, not a ton, and a skinny strip in the middle. Rub them toward the bottom to get any excess out without smushing it over. You don't want to smush it this way or this way and have it all over the place and underneath the pocket. You want the pocket to be usable. Alright. Let me set something on it for just a minute to hold it in place. I'm sure nobody needs to see my e-cig. What's going on with it anyway? It's not working that well at the moment. Today. I was a smoker for 22 years and I've used that and haven't had a cigarette in months. Months, I say. Since just after my birthday. Oops, sorry. Alright, so that's stuck down and that has room for, let me find something to stick in there. You can stick a tag in here and a tag in here. I'm not going to push this in because it's too big for the hole. But those are two tag pockets, which will make the tags later on. Next we have to cover this chunk here and this pocket. Again, I could have covered them beforehand, would have been a smarter bet, but I failed to think of that ahead of time. So, there's that. And then after that, we'll work on the signatures, get them in there, and decorating the pages. Making tags and decorating pages. I also have to seal the bottoms of these pockets, but like I said, I think I'm going to do decorative closure on these, which would be done after the pages are decorated. So we'll wait on those, and then I got to figure out how to close this time. Could do. No, I can't because I already did that one. I think I might have to pull the end of this up to put the magnets under it. That's easy enough. I got a thing that I can use, a spatula, which is actually for a Cricut or something like that. One of those paper cutter machines. So that's it for now, and we'll get back to you soon with some more.